Now today, artificial intelligence is already all around us, everywhere, infused into our industries and deeply woven into the fabric of our societies. Every one of us interacts with AI every single day, even though we might not recognize it. Hollywood has led us to believe that artificial intelligence looks like this, like killer robots or Skynet. Now, these are very specific nightmare scenarios that the movie industry knows will sell tickets. People have always been afraid of new technology, and Hollywood knows that dystopia and apocalypse have always been profitable premises for movies. But the real story is actually simpler and a lot less dramatic. The fact is, AI has already arrived, and it does not look like cyborgs or Arnold Schwarzenegger with half his face missing. What it looks like is a lot more benign and a lot more familiar. AI is deeply integrated into all of these sites. If you've opened up Facebook, or Googled something, or used Twitter, or bought something on Amazon recently, you've engaged with each of these companies' AI frameworks, which are the underlying processes that help make these sites run. The reason these companies rely on artificial intelligence is because AI is simply the best set of tools capable for dealing with the quantities of data that these companies traffic in. Data is the key to understanding why AI is transforming our world. In the last 2 decades, we've entered what computer scientists are calling the big data era. Big data is a term that was first used in 1997 by NASA, when their organization discovered that their satellites had generated a dataset so large that it couldn't be stored on their computers. They had collected so much information and it was so complex in scope that no human team could analyze and process it, and it couldn't be dealt with using existing software or hardware. Now that is the essence of big data. It's about datasets so big that they expose the limitations of existing systems. Now this is not a unique problem. It's a common issue that everyone is facing because the amount of data in the world has grown exponentially over the last 20 years, following that same dramatic curve as computing power. 20th century organizations were not prepared for this. We've all had to transform what we're doing to respond to this new influx of information. The data we're making is just a result of computers tracking our behavior, both online and in the real world. Because we all now have multiple digital devices and are constantly plugged into the internet, every year we generate more data than all of the data that had previously existed in human history. Our phones track our movements and our calls and the apps we use. Web servers track where we go online. Smart cars monitor our journeys. Smart TVs document what we watch on TV. Nike Plus, Fitbits record our runs. The end result is a mountain of data that has value if we have the right tools to process it. So this next sequence of images is from the classic Charlie Chaplin film Modern Times from 1936, a silent movie whose main theme was about how technology dehumanizes people. Now I want to use this imagery to make a point. Force-feeding human beings big data sets is inefficient and messy. The volume and speed of big data sets overwhelm our basic capabilities very quickly. We have clear biological limitations to how we can process information. Human beings are not meant to be mechanized data processors. On the other hand, computers are data-eating machines. This is what we originally designed computers to do. Computers and computer programs don't need to rest, they don't need to sleep, and they can take in data and process it far faster and at far greater volumes than humans can. They are simply better at this than we ever will be. Now this is why we need artificial intelligence. AI consumes data. AI systems are powered by scale, which means that the more data you give to an AI system, the smarter it gets. In the past, humans created data processing software, but most of that software required people to laboriously input data into it. There used to be an entire industry of people whose only job was data entry. They would repetitively enter numbers into Excel spreadsheets. Now today, AI systems bypass all those slow, error-prone steps that rely on humans and just inhale data automatically, like those 2 cartoon caricatures from the last slide. Neural networks and deep learning frameworks are the tools that enable AI systems to feed themselves from the abundant information available in big data sets. So essentially, AI is what we use to make data valuable. Without this set of tools, big data is just a huge, intimidating heap of raw information that we cannot process. That leads us to one of the new mantras of Silicon Valley. Data is the new oil. There's also a variation that says data is the new soil. What both of those statements imply is that data is the most important resource we have. Just as oil was the raw material that fueled the 20th century's manufacturing economy, data is the raw material that is fueling the 21st century corporate economy. That is why all of the world's most important tech companies are investing heavily in AI. They each have proprietary data sets that they are trying to transform into market value.